This is the Lunenburg Water District Commissioners Meeting, April 10th, 2024. We delayed it to a 5 p.m. start. We'll start with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Minutes, March 27th, and the annual meeting of the 30th.
Stand by, Ken.
Okay. Review and sign warrants, we just double check that we got all those.
Big one's just the interest payment for the new place.
Oh,
Yep, just the interest.
just the interest.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing. Okay. Review and vote changes to personnel policy and benefits. Did you highlight any of these changes? Or did
no,
you
'cause it
have an
really was
idea?
everything
It's just basically page. Sorry, Chrissy, you can. I'm sorry. Go.
Page 3.
Yeah, everything basically is the same,
Yeah.
except for bottom of page 2. We just wanted to define a few things since we've had a few employees kind of come and go. So really, it's just more probation period. Conditions of employment. We didn't have that. You got to have a driver's license.
Correct.
You have to get the water licenses. Things that were kind of basic, but now we're putting specifically into our policy. So it's really just those last 2 sections, which I think I had sent you guys ahead of time to review. But
Yep.
Basically, this was copied a lot off what the town has also. We pulled that up, and Chrissy did a lot of this, all of it actually. But I thought we needed to robust our policy a little bit. I mean, nothing's really changed. It's just a little more definitive
Yeah.
on what we expect out of people. Also, a little bit touches more on, I guess, like chain of command stuff. How if there's a issue, you need
Yeah.
to go to the superintendent first, and then come to a water commissioner.
yep.
What to do if there is offenses, first, second offense, third offense, and then, I'm glad we listed out some of the things that, would consider offense, willful neglect or not performance of one or more assigned duties, etc. Just puts it more in black and white.
Yeah.
And, just so there's no questions or concerns. We've had a couple of employees leave with, there's been some questionable, but now if we just define it,
Yep.
should be a little more clearer going forward.
Yeah.
I read this over, and I thought it was an excellent changes.
Okay.
Anything on the back page changed?
No, that was the buyback program that you guys had voted in
Yep.
last year. So I just referenced that under the health insurance. I added the 2 lines that if the employee decides not to utilize the water district health insurance, they must provide proof of alternate full health care coverage. And if they do have that, they can opt into the water district's health benefits buyout program, which you guys voted that in
Right.
last year. So, but this just references it,
And
and
they
then
have to
this-
use this form to
then they
do
have
it.
to fill this form out, and I have to actually make sure that they have to show proof
Correct.
when needed that they have health insurance.
Okay. The only gray area I see in this for right now, where does it specify? It just says all water licenses. I know that there are different levels.
Well, yes, but I think that when we,
Where are you looking?
level 1, conditions of employment, CDL hydraulics license, water distribution treatment level 1 should be obtained within 12 months.
Okay.
As a condition of employment. And then from there, I think as, our treatment changes,
Correct.
we're a D2, T1 system, but as our system changes, that will be discussions
Understood.
with employees,
Correct.
that
Yeah.
they will be expected to
Yeah.
get licenses as needed.
Yep, okay. Does it have that in here that we have the right to modify and or change?
I thought we,
The
hope-
district
Last
personnel
sentence.
benefits may be adjusted or
Yes.
changed by the majority vote of the Board of Water Commissioners.
yep,
Okay, so all the stuff that's right in front of me.
yep.
I don't have any questions. Does anybody else have a question or anything they wanna modify or see with the?
Yeah, I got one.
Yep.
What does, constitute chronic absenteeism? Is that 3 times, 4 times, in a row, 5? I mean, should that be a number on that, or how do you describe chronic absenteeism?
I don't think there needs to be. I think
Yeah. No, I'm just asking,
me,
because,
I,
you know,
I think this could be done at the recommendation of the superintendent. You know,
Yeah.
we can use some kind of common sense through it. I mean, I do understand what you're saying. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's
I
tough
don't want to
put-
like totally put the numbers on that. I think if you read that A through F of all the different things that we added to this, I think it really kind of zones in on what we're, you know. I got to be honest with you. If we
Yeah.
really had somebody that was chronically late, I think they'd be tripping up one of these other categories also.
Yeah.
You know, so I just
okay,
And that
just a
may be
question.
as
Yeah,
that,
no.
and that may reference back to, you know, the chronic absentee. I know it's kind of vague in that, talking about the dismissal, but it also probably references back
Right.
to the verbal warning, the written warning.
Right.
You know, we'll probably go through that, hey, you've been out a couple days, here's your verbal warning.
Exactly.
You're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just gonna be, oh, you've been out for a
Right.
week, and, yeah. So-
sometimes I get a little uncomfortable putting an exact figure on things
Yes.
because
It's
the,
a conversation.
it's a
That's more of
conversation
a-
that needs to happen, and I'd hate to be one employee be like, oh, that person missed 3
Yeah,
days, and that
yeah.
you know, like it's
Yeah, oh, I can miss 3 days.
right.
Yeah.
It
And not
correct.
get
It
something,
correct.
yes.
You know. So
Yep.
anything else?
Nothing from me.
Okay,
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the changes to the personal policies and benefits.
So moved.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That was kinda seconded.
I'll do that too.
Yeah, second, so. Just somewhere maybe a date on these, so we know
Okay,
when
yep.
they were modified.
Sure.
That was the only other thing.
Well, actually, while you're doing that, if you guys wanna just initial the bottom
Mm-hmm.
of that page, then I'll have the signed copy.
Should probably
Yeah, if you wanna maybe date it.
Yeah.
Or each one.
just handle each one.
And it's 4/10.
Okay, I now have the minutes, so I would accept a motion on March 27th and the 30th.
I would make a motion to accept the minutes of March 27 and March 30th.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Review and vote changes to personnel policy and benefits, we just did that. Revote the approval of the master plan submitted by Ty and Bond. I'm gonna defer to you, Mr. Woodward, on
Yes,
on
sir.
this, cause I agree with what you're doing, but you have it all in front of you. And maybe explain
Yep.
why.
Yep. Okay. So on our last meeting, we approved Time Bond's master plan. However, we had some public comment question about it, and it was a bit unclear of exactly the plan proposed that we were going to use. You know, we did a little better homework and wrote this out a little more descriptive. To read it, and you know, it's basically the same thing we talked about, but just to take away any gray area or any concerns anybody may have. So,
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the Time Bond recommended alternative design to construct one treatment facility on Lancaster Avenue to treat the Hickory Hills well and the wells located on Lancaster Ave, as stated in the Time Bond's master plan under section 4.4, with an estimated budget number of $32.2 million.
And that's exactly what we discussed. That's where
Correct.
we're going. And under 4.4, can we just review that real quick? Because you're referencing something. It's right there. It's in there. It's right underneath what you have.
Oh, okay, correct.
Just kind of reference that so that everybody knows.
4.4 is the recommended alternative. I'm gonna put on my glasses to read this. Based on the water quality, logistical considerations, and supply needs discussed before and above, the recommended alternative is to construct 2 water treatment plants will address the district's water quality concerns from their 3 sources. Based on the analysis contained in section 4.3, the preferred option includes centralizing the water treatment plant for the Hickory Hills wells and the Lancaster Avenue well field located on Lancaster Avenue wellfield site, along with with a separate water treatment plant for the Keatings well located at the Keatings well site. This is the preferred option for the following reasons. Least expensive than constructing water treatment plants at each individual site, in other words, building 3 of them. More resilient than constructing a single centralized water treatment plant. Acquisition of the additional land is not required as we own the land on Lancaster Ave. Addresses the limited space constraints at the Hickory Hills well site. Eliminates the need for chemical deliveries to the Hickory Hills well site. Limits the construction activities at the Hickory Hills well site, improving the existing building appearance. That's what 4.4 is.
And the budget is the next page, and I believe that had basically a rough budgetary breakdown and
Correct.
what you just went through, the proposed budget for that and treating and completion of the treatment plant at Lancaster Ave is the 32.
Correct. The 32 million, which would treat Lancaster Ave wells and Hickory Hills wells
And-
located at the Lancaster
Right.
Ave site.
And this is not a vote to do any of that, this is a vote to kind of follow that
Correct.
plan and guideline.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yes, I second it.
Okay. Do we have any, I don't think we have any discussion, because we've already discussed it.
Right. It's
I'm good.
like I said,
Okay.
we discussed before, but just.
Yep, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner, Superintendent, Clerk Treasurer additions, which end of the table we're gonna start?
Go ahead.
Okay, I spoke to Stantec this afternoon. There's a lot of issues going on with this water main job. It's all tied to the state permit. State permit put a lot of requirements in the permit that were not part of our contract. So we just received information of the added cost tied to that project, and it's massive numbers. So we're gonna see if we can renegotiate with the contractor to see if we can drop those numbers to an acceptable level. I mean, it's huge number.
Did we not have a state permit before we went out to bid?
No. The contract referred to the state permit once received. Typically, it's not a big deal. Typically, it's global fill in the intersections, and you can get a waiver for that. This one was extreme, where we have, if we went in the road, if there was a certain distance between any kind of repair work in the roadway, they make us pave the whole thing. So whole sections are being paved, which was not anticipated. Typically, you cut a trench, you do it to their spec, and you patch a trench. So, and then in this one, they had a section added at the very end, which said, actually, I don't even think it was part of the permit when we started questioning things. 'Cause one of the releases of the permit stated that all of the old pipe needed to be removed. Well, a lot of the old pipes, could be in the roads, 8 feet deep. So then if you take it out, the old pipe at 8 feet deep, then you're hauling in dirt, compact, to put the new pipe, it, wasn't making any sense. So then the state responded back to that and said that, we don't need, we're not gonna touch the old pipe, you just leave it there. But if the pipe went into the roadway at all, then we had to fill it with flowable fill. So that's not very easy to do. I mean, you can pump in flowable fill, but you need to set up discharge ports to make sure it's actually filling up the pipe. So that was a lot of money to do that one. So their price was $700,000 just to fill the pipe. So we borrowed 2.3 million. Contract came in just a touch over 2 million. So there is a little contingency there. There's a little wiggle room, but not 700,000. And we are still working on the road, the work times. Typical work is 7:30 to 3, 7 to 3:30, something in that range. The state permit's at 9:30 to 3:30. So that put a big squash in the time. So that was a $400,000 change order for that. So, but we are working on that. The state said they would let us go to 7:30 to 3 if we had a support letter from the town. So we just received the support letter from the school to the town. So that's in the works, and I think we can get that, so we can eliminate the $400,000 change order but there is the other 700,000. I bad feelings on this one. I see us tossing it. I can't see us going through it. I can't see us, because we'd have to have a special meeting to appropriate
Another million.
$1 million, and for 4,000 feet of pipe, this is insane.
When did we apply for that permit?
22, August of 22.
And we're finally getting the
Yeah,
final version?
we just received it. It was probably a month ago. We received the final permit.
That's insane.
And just for an example, that's why I was all in favor of paying Stantec the extra money for what they did, because we have that job up right near Chestnut Street, and I applied for that permit in January. This is the one I'm talking. We might even be not going on the road. If we do go on the road, it might be 2 feet. And I started that permit process in January, and I still don't have it.
Why don't we abandon it?
That's a lengthy discussion.
Yes, I just wanted to put it out there. I know it's gonna cost a lot more in 5 years from now between what we have to do to fix the leaks that we're gonna have and then to rebid it. But, you know, maybe they'll get a new gang in down at the
No,
state.
that ain't,
No.
it's not gonna get any easier.
No,
I think this is
yeah, we're,
this is a long conversation. I mean,
let's digest that
Digest
a
it.
little bit, and
So we're gonna respond to it. Let's see what comes of it. And then we'll bring it up and we'll discuss it again. I have different ideas of how
Sure.
to do things, so maybe
We-
we shrink the
shrink it
project.
down, do a section of it.
Do our worst section, or we do a different method of, instead of remove and replace, we
Correct.
do a lining kind of thing.
yeah, why don't you come back at our next meeting with, see where things go, and
Did we have any funding for that?
For the
No.
water main job,
Yeah.
no,
Well, yeah, I mean, we
2.3 million.
No,
Yeah.
I'm, oh,
no outside funding. It's all funded by.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
so we're gonna borrow
Yeah.
the money.
All right, so we're not gonna lose any funding if we don't,
No.
Oh,
come
no,
out-
correct.
outside
There's
funding.
no,
Okay.
there's
No.
no special funding for that.
The only thing that will come up if we say, all right, we're gonna terminate this contract, is they incurred costs. So that'll be something that, you know, we're not gonna
Yeah.
walk out of this without any fees, but,
right.
I mean, if it's,
And
$1
you're
million
gonna-
over, we can't do it.
So you have questions into the state now?
Not the state, Stantec, reviewing costs with other projects, what they feel the cost should be for what, is added to the contract. And, so we're just gonna see if we can come up real numbers, and, I mean, if the filling of the pipe is a true number, 400,000, we can't do it.
How many feet of pipe is that?
I think it was a touch over 4,000.
Now, they only have to fill what's under the pavement.
Yes, but they gave a one lump sum to do it. So
Yeah.
if
That's
they
the
fill,
conversation we
Yeah.
have with them, is what is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
how about it by the foot job? Or by the 100 foot, you know, instead of by the 22,
that's all up for discussion. So
yeah.
So I just heard from Stantec, and he was kind of surprised that the letter came directly to him and not to me as well.
Well, they're probably ashamed to send it to us.
So I think he knows it. I think they know it's going to be a fight when I see it. So
Yeah.
so we'll see. So I just got that today, so we're working on it. So.
Okay. Anything else?
No, we're just we've been out flushing hydrants. The way we flush hydrants, we start at the tanks, we do the tank. So everything we do when we flush, we operate system valves. So everything is controlled. So like we flush Sunny Hill tank, tank water is the clean. So we flush the clean to valves, and we isolate things, and then we do the other tank. So we'll isolate that and flow that tank, and then we start drawing that clean water in certain directions, and we close off valves so that the dirty water is controlled. We've done it in the past where if you didn't have control and you stirred up a part of town, then you were kind of tough. So now we control. So whenever we're flushing, we see the clean, we see the dirty, and when we quit, we get the clean and we're good. So we it's pretty rare we get a complaint for dirty water. Maybe slight
Yeah.
tint to it.
Well, in the long run, it's better off to flush than not.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
One more pilot testing. The trailer is at Lancaster Ave. We just got to hire electricians, put in 2 plugs for them to run the pumps. believe the trailer's at Keating's too. If it wasn't, they were bringing it very quickly.
Good.
So they're gonna start the Keating one. They're going to do the baseline is the hardness pilot testing. They got to figure that out, and then it'll go to the PFAS testing. Lancaster Ave, they're gonna take the media from the Hickory Hills well, relocate it to Lancaster Ave, and continue the pilot testing from Lancaster.
Good.
And it's all in the biological. They were doing biological, wasn't really working with the frac tank. And then as time went on, it started to work, so they actually shut off the green sand and went with the biological. The biological is the preferred method. It's a much smaller size, less backwash.
Yep.
And no chemicals, bacteria eats all the manganese. So
You don't have to get rid of the green sand to the incinerator people or whatever.
that's
Great.
yeah, correct.
Correct,
Yep, we
yeah.
gotta do a backwash,
Right.
much smaller backwash. So,
Good.
so things are going good.
And I don't wanna dwell on it, but we talked today that the EPA came out with their new regulations and dropped
It is
PFAS to
four.
4 parts per
All
trillion.
sources of water in Lunenburg need PFAS treatment. Make that perfectly clear to everybody. Everything needs PFAS treatment. We have 3 years to deal with that. 3 years we get to figure out what we're gonna do. By year 5, we have to meet the regulation. So it takes 3 to 4 years to build the treatment plant. So we don't have time to mess around. So we either step up and do our thing, or we're in some serious time frame issues.
Yeah, cause, we'll see in, the presentation that we're gonna have tonight and throughout the public that it does, right now, what are we looking at, like 2027? For if we continue down the path that we're on?
I think, let's say everything works great, and the money's approved, we have a year for the design, and then, from what I hear, the constructions, there's not enough people to build these plants, because I mean, this is a huge thing all across
Right.
the
But
country, but, so we're
Lou
talking.
had a schedule that
He did,
he'll go
yep.
over tonight, so I didn't wanna dwell on it, we're gonna talk about it again, so. I just wanted for people to watch this, know that the regulations changed.
Efficient, yep.
Do you have anything else?
Quick, new guy starts on the 22nd.
Good,
That's it.
Perfect.
anything from the board?
Nothing from me.
Okay, old business.
We pretty much covered all that with the.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I should have.
Yep, no, that was good,
Anytime,
I like to do that before we
I
get to
wrote,
the end.
ask-
Okay, any public comment? Okay, I'm gonna accept a motion to adjourn, we are, well,
I have a question.
Yep.
Did you, at the beginning, did you sign the warrant articles for the meeting? Was it on your agenda, warrant articles?
yes, yeah, we've,
They're all signed.
we signed.
Can you read it so that we can hear what the warrant article says?
The treasury warrant?
I don't
Is-
know, what warrant
Review and
article.
signs warrant, they're payroll
They're
warrants
pay-
for us.
yeah,
to
it's
pay.
just payables.
Thank you.
Payroll warrant.
Yeah.
Just it's helpful to know what warrants you're signing.
Yep.
That's
And the
all.
bills,
Yeah.
electric bills and all that.
Yeah.
Fabulous, thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.